Now, Mr. P. Odalingam, Council Member, Chennai Chapter, IIF, will introduce our second speaker of the day, Mr. Rajmohan Madiyalagan, National Head Sales, Allied Refractories Product, India Private Limited.
Now I introduce next speaker, Rajmohan Madiyalagan. He is National Head Sales, Allied Refractory and Products, India Limited. His basic education is B.Tech Ceramic Technology, completed in Alagappa Engineering College. He started his career in Allied Refractory Products as a sales engineer. Now he is promoted as a sales head in Allied Product. Yes, sir. He has visited various countries like USA, Germany, Sri Lanka, Thailand and other countries. Okay, sir. Please come on. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Good morning to everyone. I'd like to thank IEF Chennai chapter for giving me an opportunity on this occasion of this 5th Iron Symposium. Today I'll be covering refractory solutions for ladles, care during installation, top gap in coreless furnaces, and flooring solutions along with some case studies. For few audience here, actually the topics I'm covering will be refreshing one or someone will be already knowing it. And for some actually it will be like new learnings. So this is about a company. Allied is a 60-year-old company. We have 13 manufacturing facilities across the world, and we have 3 research facilities and 6 precast facilities, and we have sales activities in more than 100 countries, and we have sales representative around more than 445 international employees are there. And our 14th facility will be upcoming soon in Turkey. So coming up to the ladles, actually, I'm traveling with Allied for 14 years actually and visited many foundries across the country. And I have noted that the refractory selection actually for ladles are always less. Now things are changing. At the day end, the amount of refractory consumption in ladles is more compared to coreless. Ladle can be an area where you can save huge energy, huge cost savings can be done here if we have a proper selection of refractories actually, and the care as we like take for the coreless. Also this helps us actually in maintaining the quality of the liquid metal. Just think actually that you are melting a metal actually in a coreless furnace actually which has a high value. But then you take the ladles actually, metal into a ladles which is been lined with the sand actually, and sand will be eroded fast and it gets into your metal and it creates rejections and inclusions. It's again a huge cost, so we always recommend to have a proper selection of refractories to get rid of such losses. So how we can work together? We can work as a business partner. Allied believes in training the people. We work along with the team in the shop floor regarding to the refractory installation, do's and don'ts, and maintenance of enhancing the lining life. Also, we have a provision actually to line the ladles at our warehouse and transport the same to you in ready to use condition. So lining configuration is based on what we like to achieve. It has more lining life, less energy savings, less build-up erosion, less cracking and metal penetration. Based on the chemistry, we suggest a configuration. We normally recommend our customers a lining thickness between 75 mm to 100 mm for a 1 metric ton ladle, so that we can achieve the best lining life with less heat loss, because most of the foundries actually in India are not practicing or not having a proper lining thickness actually with respect to the ladles. This is a small picture of how we normally present to our customer whenever we start to work with the ladles. When we start working with the customer based on the requirement, we design the lining configuration, we present the thermals, and in some cases there's a requirement from the customer about the heat loss, and the cold phase temperature is must actually, and also they ask for per minute heat loss. So we run the thermals accordingly, we design the configuration accordingly, and we present before them for better understanding. So it will be done in 2 or 3 configurations. So they will be selecting the best one according to their requirements. So these are various types of refractories which are used in ladle lining, and everyone has its own advantages and disadvantages. So traditionally bricks is being used, and some people still use actually like I said, sand with sodium silicate or CO2 sand actually. And we have vibratable refractories, which is again alumina silicate based, and then a castable which is in mullite, bauxite or fire clay, or based on low cement castables. Plastic refractories, this is a new one actually, Vibram flow rammable, Precar shape, and then based upon the requirement, we also add silicon carbide additions actually to the refractory for better non-wetting characteristics. We give few silica based castables actually for thermal stability, and chromium oxide wherever we have a corrosive resistance or abrasion resistance is required. So these are the advantages between a bricks castable and a dry vibratable. So everyone has his own advantages and disadvantages. So when it comes to bricks, actually these are has a high horse strength, resistance to acid and alkali attack is much better, has good abrasion resistant. So there's no much required for dry outs because there's no water. All these have been pre-dried. But limitations are slow installation time, multiple joints actually, which leads to metal penetration. Lot of skill required is needed, and more prone to thermal shocks. When it comes to castable, very good resistance to chemical attack, no joints, has very, better strength. We can get a high density with low porosity. Installation time is quick, but forms are required, and it can be shave repaired. It is not like that actually you have to completely remove the complete lining every time. But limitations are it needs special equipments like vibrating machines and mixer machines. We need to have again a skilled labor to take care of the water additions. Dry out is longer time because you will be adding at least 4 to 6% of water to it, which has to be removed before introducing into a liquid metal, and the former is required. When it comes to dry vibratable, few equipments are required, easy to install, better thermal shock resistance, shelf life is more compared to castables, because castables has some cement actually which does not carry that much of shelf life, so maximum it's like 6 months, and it has a less sintering time compared to castable. Limitations are low resistance to chemical attack. It is very hard to shave repair after a period of operation if you want to repair. Low strength actually at operating temperatures. It takes more time during installation because you have to do as like a coreless furnace, forking and ramming, and has lot of porosity because of low density, which leads to slag attack a lot. So this is a new thing actually, Precar Shapes, an emerging solution. We can do all type of shapes. You can see the pics actually, we have different types of shapes actually meant for ladles. So all these are going for ladles. Huge advantages. These shapes are made under consistent and controlled fashion. Has low porosity, which reduces the slag sticking and helps you in easier cleaning of slag. There are certain limitations. It's too costly when it comes to single shape or 2 or 3 shapes, but when it comes to multiples actually, then the cost will be reduced because the form cost is involved, the heating cost is involved. So based upon the volume, the price can be worked out. And transportation is little tricky because we can't transport multiple pieces, and care has to be taken during packaging, which adds to the cost actually for shipping these kind of shapes. So these are some of our products what Allied normally recommends actually for SG and grey ladles. So Quicker 62, it is a mullite based low cement castable, self flow. It can be used as vibrating flow also. So Duracon 7030 is a fire clay based low cement castable with large grains. So this is Vibram 70 is a phosphate bonded material. Actually it comes like a little bit of moisture powder ramming mass, but once you put into form and vibrate it, it starts to flow. So that's a new thing which is we are trying to promote actually in Indian market. And the plastic products which can be used for repairing over the existing castable lining or bricks or hand shacks, which is called as A7055 or Steel Pack 86CR. And then we have this dry mix which is like DV916. So these are some coating material normally we recommend along with the castable. We have magnesia based coating material, graphite based, alumina silica based and silica based. Why coatings? Normally coatings act as a partition between the main working lining and the parent working lining. And whenever you have metal and slag to the lining, the slag is getting attacked only with the coating product and not with the parent lining. So you can easily clean the slag and the dross, whatever is sticking to the ladle, and you can apply the coating again and you can put the ladle into operation. So whereby you can enhance the lining life of the ladle. So this is a small slide what I kept actually whenever we are trying to use a castable, we have to take care of the water percentage, because there's always a recommendation given by the manufacturer about the water percentage. If you are going to go beyond the limited water percentage actually, then you will be losing the strength drastically. So you can see the hot modulus of rupture over here, and the mixing by weight actually, you can see this optimum casting water is a range where you can maximum go with, otherwise you can see the strength drastically falling down. So when it comes to insulative castables, or like castables what are we using in coreless furnace covers or in ladle covers, those are lightweight insulative castables. So we have to go, we have to give utmost care actually with this insulative castables, because any amount of increase in the water will drastically deteriorate the properties of the particular product. This is again related to installation. All moisture in the castable lined ladle should be removed before introducing the liquid metal. People just think actually that within 100 degrees we can remove the water from the lining, because they think actually that's a physical moisture. But the physical moisture, there's always both chemical moisture and physical moisture are combined to each other. So you can see the cement hydrated phases and the percentage of water removed actually at each degree. So 60% of water get removed at 100 degrees, 15% gets removed at 230, 17% gets removed at 260, and 8% actually at 550. So till 550 to 600 degrees Celsius, it is very critical, and utmost care has to be taken during this phase of tryout. We don't normally recommend wood firing, because with wood firing there's no controlled fashion of heat up. So drastically the temperature rises and it leads to crack. So we always recommend either to go with a burner or with the electrical system for these type of ladle preheatings or dryouts. So you can see this is a small video what I have actually, because this is a ladle where we are, after lining we are doing a pre-drying out. This is an auto control system. Now you can see the flame is cut. So we have an auto control system set actually with this, so that whenever the temperature is reaching or based upon the time, we can adjust actually, and the flame will be cut off automatically, and again it will be burnt out to maintain the temperature required. So we normally give a dry out cycle to follow, and that will be followed over here. So I was talking about Vibram 70. So this is the product what I was talking about actually. It comes as a powder. It comes like a little bit of wet granular rammable mix kind of stuff. So we just put it in and we start to vibrate the form on the shell of the ladle. And then you can see that based upon the vibration, this metal starts to flow and takes the shape. So you can see this. So there's no water required for this product. The main advantage actually of this product actually, the form can be removed easily with less time, and the heating can be a little bit fast compared to the castable lining. So coming to the case studies. So this is a case study which was being done by reducing the number of patchings in a lip pour ladle. You can see the customer was used to patch actually on a regular basis, and they were spending almost like 10,000 rupees actually for daily patching. And we introduced our patching material. As I said, actually the T-code 7692M is a magnesia based, and 7055 is alumina based actually with the phosphoric acid bonded. And we were able to reduce to around 4,000 rupees, and the savings of almost about 4,000 rupees. And also they used to do the rinsing after every patching, which takes them about 10 units. But in our case, it is not so, because this product sets very easily during the initial dry out itself. So this is the thing with respect to the cost study of this particular ladle. So, in a summary to that particular case study is the refractory consumption was more in the traditional practice. There was a lot of slag buildup in the spout and side walls, and it was very hard to clean. Ladle needs to be changed twice every day. Two times heating is required, and more diesel consumption was there. So, rinsing with the furnace metal, if ladle idle for more than 30 minutes to 1 hour due to more amount of heat loss. Manpower was high due to multiple ladle relining. Our ladle was able to run with 3 shifts. Only one ladle needed for 3-shift operation. 50 kg consumption was required for a daily maintenance, and the diesel consumption was reduced to half. Less heat loss because, as I said in the beginning, actually we configure the ladle lining accordingly to reduce the amount of heat loss, and no need of rinsing with liquid metal, which reduced in the power consumption, and manpower cost was reduced to half. So these are some pictures after 8 to 12 hours of operation. This is after 24 hours of operation. Still the ladle looks clean, and it's very easy to clean actually with the help of coating materials. So this is a case study what we did actually in a treatment ladle, again by reducing the number of patchings. So we were able to show them a costing savings of about almost like 3 lakhs for 3 months. So again, as I said, the same products were being used here also. 7692M is a magnesia-based coating material, and 7055 for patching. And this 7055 is not required for every patchings. Whenever you find actually this major amount of damages to the main working lining, during that time it is required. Otherwise, 7055 is not required. You can just go with the T-code 7692M. So summary again, refractory consumption was more. They used to do 6 treatments in an hour, which is like 144 treatments in 24 hours actually, and 2 time preheating, rinsing again, manpower cost, slag buildup in the treatment area was more. In this case actually the ladle was able to run for 18 hours, and we were able to achieve even 24 hours with the use of Flux Sol. 10 kg consumption of T-code for every ladle. But here what happened is after 20 to 25 days we had a localized erosion where the metal was impacting on the floor, and we are working with the customer to have a tundish cover on the top for the treatment to reduce that erosion in that area and increase the lining life. I talked about Flux Sol. Flux Sol is again a product actually which we normally use for cleaning the slag from the furnace or in a ladle. It's not a deslagger, it's just to clean the slag actually from the parent lining. So this is a case study, cost saving through heat loss. So the traditional old configuration of the customer was 50 mm SD bricks, that is super duty bricks, and 30 to 40 mm of conventional castable. And they had a heat loss of about 30 degrees from the first box to the last box. We modified the configuration with the 6 mm ceramic paper, 75 mm of 62, which is a molite based castable, and 6 to 8 mm of T-coat, it's a magnesia based coating material. And we were able to achieve 6 degrees heat loss from the first box to the last box, and the travel time was almost like 5 minutes. So this helped actually in reducing the temperature of the metal in the coreless furnace and save cost actually on energy spent. Obviously what happened is actually whenever you require high temperature, you take high temperature from the coreless furnace, and that impacts on the main working lining. Since actually we were able to control the heat losses, so they were able to control the temperature in the coreless furnace for tapping out the liquid metal, and the lining life was also increased, and the energy spent was also reduced. And there are some cases actually where we have experienced that because of the low temperature, the last box can't be poured, and in this case actually it was reduced. So this is a case study actually with respect to Precar shape. This is not commonly present actually in India, for specifically actually for high handling ladles. There are some people who use small shapes for handling special alloys, and we have a customer, Midani, who does melting in a crucible in the coreless vacuum furnace in India. In this actually you can see a Precar shape is installed along with the dry backup. So you can see this ladle where you have a Precar shape, and between the ladle and the Precar shape you will be filling a dry ramming mass. And the topping will be normally done with the plastic I'll be showing and other things to hold the shape as well as the dry ramming mass in place. So the first installation happened actually in July 2022. Performance was very well. Normally with the cast ladles they run for 6 months with regular maintenance. We had good success, and based upon that we have installed the second ladle in October. These shapes are not only outperforming the cast height ladles, but also saves a huge cost actually in reducing the downtime and savings in the labor part. And also, as I said in the beginning, these have been fabricated actually in a controlled fashion, so the slack sticking was much lesser actually compared to the as cast casted site ladles. So this is actually with respect to ladles. Now coming to top caps. Again, this is one area where least importance is given to in every foundry. Typically, this is done with sand or ramming mass mixed with sodium silicate. Top cap area is always a dead zone in the lining where it does not see much of heat and has no cooling effect on the cooling coils too. The damages in this area are mainly due to thermal shock, mechanical impact during the charging, and there's always a seam separation between the main working lining and the top cap, because you have two different components actually. You have a wet top cap on the top and the dry ramming mass at the bottom, so always there's a seam separation which leads to metal penetrations. This requires a daily maintenance, which adds to a huge cost actually with respect to refractories. We have a different type of top caps meant actually in this picture. You can see the green one is a plastic ramming mass which can be used as a top cap, and on the other picture actually you can see a castable which can be used as a top cap again. But Allied's first recommendation is always a dry top cap, because you have a dry ramming mass in the coreless furnace, and always a dry top cap will be preferable because it merges and gives a monolithic structure to the main working lining. We always recommend a fusilica top cap for the dry. In some cases, based upon the condition of the furnace and the atmosphere, actually we also add fibers to the fusilica ramming mass and do the top cap. And when it comes to why fusilica top caps, you can see the graph. Fusilica has a very low expansion rate, so it's always on the lesser side, so the volume stability is much better, and thermal shock resistance is good, and it has been designed in such a way that actually it sinters at very low temperatures. It sinters at very low temperatures and gain the strength, so that even during the mechanical abuse you don't get much damages to the main working lining. To the top cap. So this is some pictures where we are done with dry top cap. There's no heat, nothing. So it is to the platform or to the top cap of the furnace. And normally this is way actually we recommend our customers to do the top caps. So the main working lining is there and the transition layer is there. So we have one bag of DV231XB. That's what we normally recommend for the top caps, along with silica. We mix it, we make a transition layer, and then we do the DV231XB on the top. So to summary up actually with respect to top caps, it's easy to install. As I said, there's no separation between the main working lining and the top cap, and it reduces a chance of metal penetration between the main working lining and top caps, and it contributes to the safety of the furnace and the safety of the people working around. Stronger than using the same material mixed with sodium silicate. Higher resistance to erosion caused by chemical attack. It is dry and it's more volume stable. No preheating is required, and during the expansion and contraction of the lining, there's no hanging up. So this is with respect to flooring solutions. We have a product called a stuff floor actually, which normally we are recommending for flooring solutions in foundry industry. So this is a alumina silica based refractory. We engage actually wherever the standard concrete is exposed to more amount of heat and metal splashes. This product is designed with good abrasion resistant and resistant to thermal shock with high strength. Mostly installed at casted site, but we can do Precar Shapes also with these products and can be installed. So this is a picture which talks about tough floor versus a standard concrete after multiple thermal cycling at 1400 degree F. So you can see the standard concrete does not hold that much actually with respect to tough floor. Tough floor has the high strength actually to hold that kind of atmosphere. So this graph shows the strength of tough floor with respect to the standard concrete. In this graph, you can see the blue line represents actually the standard concrete, and others actually with the grades of different grades of tough floor, and the strength actually it attains with respect to the curing time, with respect to the crushing strength. So these are the application areas where you can use tough floor. New flooring or repair to old concrete, furnace top and bottom blocks can be done with this, not preferably bottom blocks, top blocks. Flooring around the furnace, near to channel furnace and coreless furnaces. Furnace front guard, I can show some pictures actually as we go. Top rings, for slag dump area, furnace pits, mold shakeout area, scrap dumping area, ladle stations, HTF, all metal splash areas, deslagging station. So this is a furnace platform. Typically a conventional castable is used actually in this area, but we converted into tough floor for this area, and we were able to see a lifespan of more than even a year without any damages, with much damages. In this picture you can see that's the condition of tough floor after 1 year of operations with respect to around the furnace platform. So this is some more pictures actually where we can repair the existing concrete floor actually with the tough floor, and this is the front guard of the furnace. So these are some front guards of the furnace actually where we can engage with tough floor for a longer period of operation, because in conventional castable it does not sustain for such a long period of time. So this is a furnace slag pit, furnace base actually. You can see this above this platform only the coreless furnace sits. So this customer was very particular actually in having some refractive flooring over the standard concrete, so that if any leakage is happening actually the standard concrete should not get damaged. So we designed this actually for them. It was cast actually inside. It is near to Arakonam. And this is a slag dumping area in front of the furnace, which has been done with tough floor. So the standard concrete remains same. Normally this area, over a period of years actually you can see this, the concrete getting damaged and the reinforcements actually are exposed, but we covered up with tough floor. So this is again, some people, this normally we don't recommend, but some people have a condition that they want to melt a little bit more than actual coreless furnace capacity, and they make a huge ape actually with sodium silicate top caps, which is unsafe. And as I said in the beginning, sodium silicate does not carry that strength and it breaks. So we do the extended top cap with a tough floor, and then we ask the customer to do a complete dry structure actually for the working lining. So these some pictures actually what we've done with tough floor for the top blocks. These are furnace rings. So this is a ladle station, what we did actually. So this is a concrete floor over which we built a platform for with tough floor for handling the ladle actually with the high temperatures. So again, a tough floor can be installed near to the molding line also, where we normally put sand to avoid splashings, and tough floor has a good advantage actually. It reduces the metal splash, it restricts the metal splash a lot. So this is the advantages of tough floor. In conventional cement flooring, you take almost like 7 days actually for maturing and handling foot movement of machine movement. With the allied flooring actually it can be done within 48 hours of, after 48 hours of installation max, and it restricts metal splashing. So it keeps the finishing and flatness, reduces risk of metal splashing during the transportation. There's no uneven surfaces. Cheaper in a longer run due to longer lasting flows with very minimal repairs. So this does not require much of a pan mixer kind of stuff, what we normally require for a castable. It can be used actually even with regular drums, and it does not require heat actually, first of all. That's the reason actually we are promoting this product for top blocks, because it does not require heat. So it can be directly put in, and after 2 days actually you can install it over a coreless furnace. So can be reinforced actually by steel wheel mesh, even with the, like what I said actually for the platforms of the coreless furnaces. So thanks for the opportunity given. I'd like to take up actually if you have any queries, or you can call me or mail me actually if you have any questions. That's the Precar shape, sir. You're talking about Precar shape. Yeah, we will supply based upon your dimension of your ladle. We can develop a Precar shape, and we will supply to you as a shape. So that will be fixed in a ladle, and behind the Precar shape and the shell, you have to fill in with a dry ramming mass. Normally we call it as a ladle wipe, just to take care of, in case actually if any leakages happen, actually this will take care of the leakage, and also it will be easy to remove actually whenever you are completing with the service.
Any other questions?
Sir, in this case actually it is almost like we installed in July. It has ran till now actually almost like 5 months, but still actually it is in good shape. It is in operation. Normally it depends upon the operation, but in this case it was almost like, it is I think it will be reaching almost like 8 to 9 months, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we can do the treatment also. No worries. Yeah, we can do that. The only thing is the product selection will be different because all these shapes are not done with one particular product. Based upon the operation temperature and the chemistries, actually we change the product.
Any other questions, sir?
Thank you once again for the opportunity given. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rajmohan. That was a very, very clear, crisp, and detailed explanation on ladles. I guess time was the only restricting factor for us, else we would have been, taught much more than you expected. So now I would like to call on Mr. Praveen Prabhu, Managing Director, Sri Akila Castings, to felicitate Mr. Rajmohan with an Angavastram and a memento.